Welcome to the first episode of the Bass Department. This is our new podcast starring me, Lyric, Chris, and Ian, who doesn't have a webcam. Yeah, what's up?
Hi.
Hello.
Dude, this is epic. So before we start, I just want to say, this podcast is not endorsed, affiliated, or related to any organization, including the specific learning institute in which the three of us attend. It's not recognized at all by them. So this is just something that is completely unrelated from any organization. This is just something that the three of us are doing. Don't sue us, please.
Yeah,
Please
don't sue us.
All four.
We do not have the
Bro, I got like $6 right now.
yeah, we don't have the ability to pay you anything if you decide to sue us, so it's not worth it.
Yeah, bro. Please don't sue us, please. I beg you. So
we're going under.
Yeah, this is gonna be
we're
the
already
first
canceled.
and last episode. I cannot speak. The first and last episode of this podcast is beginning right now. So yeah, before why don't we go around and introduce ourselves so that the viewers know who we are.
Dude, this sounds like one of my Zoom meetings.
Bruh. First day of Zoom class. All right.
Yeah, I'm Chris. I'm not really sure what to say here. That's probably all you need to know about me.
What do you do?
I'm on a podcast. I don't do anything else. I sleep. That's about it.
Dude, that's epic. All right, Ian, how about you?
I'm Ian.
What do you do?
Ian.
Dude, that's epic. I'm Lyric. You guys may know me from Riflery or Class Council or some other shit that I do.
Or an FBI watch list.
Or an FBI watch list. I'm on probably a couple of those. I play video games most of the time, and we're starting this podcast. So, yeah. Oh, we're all seniors, by the way. That's the other thing. That's probably
I
important.
forgot about that.
We're all seniors. So, into the first topic. Why did you guys want to start a podcast?
I'm bored as shit during quarantine.
Ian didn't even want to start this. We just kind of dragged him into it.
That's so true. Like, Ian, you want in? And he's like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I don't know. With all this like staying home and stuff, we just kind of wanted something else to do that wasn't just sitting at a computer, like not doing anything.
And now we're sitting at a
Now
computer.
we're sitting at a computer
not
with a
doing
camera
anything
facing us
but
and
recording
talking.
We're
it.
talking. We're doing something.
Yeah, it's kind of productive.
Yeah. That's similar for the reason I wanted to start, because like you think about a lot of people's like hobbies, like going to the gym, right? Like you can go to the gym every day and fucking by a year, like you've actually got some sort of tangible progress, like you're now like more fit or whatever. But for me, it's like I play video games, fucking. It's not like I have a physical product of that. So like, now like with this kind of as a hobby, like, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I'll be able to look back and be like, oh yeah, dude, I've got like this physical.
Yeah, I actually existed in any meaningful amount.
I don't know, man. Fucking plat rank on Overwatch. That's pretty.
Bro, yeah, that's true. Fucking all the way up to plat. On my support, that's the other thing. Not even my main role. That's whack, dude. Yeah. But yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're starting school up this week, and I guess like after this, we're just kind of gonna go loose into fucking whatever topic we want. But how's school been for you guys?
Dude, honestly, I've connected to the Zooms and I like just listen to people talk and like the information just kind of goes straight through one ear and like out through the other. But
yeah,
I don't know.
What do
The
you
only
guys
reason I'm
genuinely-
keeping afloat is because I will study everything else that we're supposed to learn in class afterwards and like basically do everything independently. I don't know. It's always worked.
What do you guys think of Zoom?
Zoom like as a
Zoom?
platform.
Like using Zoom for school as opposed to just like asynchronous learning.
I like it better, because for me, like the way I learn, and I've said this before, the way I learn is like I'll sit through a lecture, I'll just pay attention in class, and then I'll absolutely just not study at all, and then I'll go take a test, and I'll be fine. Like that's just like the way I learned. You know, it's like, in compared to last year, like where we didn't have actual classes, where we were just like fucking like they're just like, oh, go learn the thing. Like that wasn't a productive work environment for me at all. So like at least with this, I can just sit through class and fucking even if I'm like doing nothing, which most of the time I'm playing video games, but don't tell anyone I said that. You know, at least there's like that kind of for me, I like it better. I like it better for sure. Although Zoom is such a jank platform anyway.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
For
Kind of busted.
for me, I kind of liked it better when we would just get like assigned all of the work at the very beginning of the day because when we used to do that, I would just like power through like every single assignment I was given, and I would just be done by like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I would just have the rest of the day to just I don't know vibe.
Yeah.
The only exception to that was the like the off cases of us having Zoom meetings before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like the old system better.
Yeah, I have terrible time management, which is why I'm on academic support. So, which I think we'll get into that eventually. I'll bring that up later. But yeah, for me, this is just a lot better.
I'm more like with Chris on the like the asynchronous. I mean I guess like for you Lyric like Zoom meetings will work for some people. It's not like the
Yeah,
same for
yeah.
and like everyone learns differently. So I guess like I think Zoom meetings should be like for like if you have questions or something, or if you want to like attend a lecture like that. But yeah, I like Chris. I get it like done by like fucking 10 a.m. and then just slack off for the rest of the day.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the other things for me was that during last year, like, I don't think I was really learning anything. You know, like I think like I would just do the work, like do the classwork or whatever. But because I'm not being held accountable like in class, there was no reason for me to like actually learn. I was just doing the work to do the work, you know. And because there's no test, there was no like it's just projects. It's just like okay, I can do this project without really needing to learn anything. If I can take a shortcut, I'm going to take a shortcut, you know. So I think at least being in class like forces me to learn, which I think is important in a way. You know, there's a lot of people that go through school just to get school done, but I think for me it's a mix of both. Like if I can take a shortcut, I'm still going to take a shortcut, but at least I'm like learning now, you know.
And I
don't know.
think with like the whole test thing, like a lot of like more teachers are starting to get better at it on like tests no longer being just memorize a topic and you forget
Yeah,
it like fucking a week after you take the test, and it's like something like you actually learn. But I mean, it's still like the majority of teachers seem to just follow like the old way
Yeah.
of just you memorize it and then you end up forgetting the topic.
Yeah. I really honestly prefer taking a test to like doing a project because I think with some projects like you'll get into like you'll really get into one specific niche, whereas like with the test you got to cover all this information. Like with a project you're just like you only learn what you're going to present about, you know. Like I think it's like shortcuts again. You know, you're just taking a shortcut. You're just getting done what you need to get done. And at least for me, I memorize stuff, I guess, either differently or better than other people do. You know, like I think you know doing a project honestly for me requires more work than learning the material for a test because that information just comes kind of naturally. But yeah, I think you know having those more interactive tests, like you definitely learn more for sure. Or like having stuff where you have to write, or in comparison to just like multiple choice. Multiple choice tests are like awful because it's so easy. Like you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting something right. Like, you know, I mean, already if you go into the test without even taking the class, you're already getting 25%. If you go into the test like going through the class and you're making educated guesses, if you can eliminate 2 choices each time and you choose between the best 2, you already got like a 50% chance of getting everything right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
I think with a lot of like the tests and like projects, it really depends on how the teacher runs it and like
For
how
sure.
the kid responds to it. Like
Yeah.
different kids are gonna vibe with like different styles of teaching. So I think it's really hard to like generalize
Yeah.
it for like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
whole like
Sure.
yeah.
Like education isn't something that can be like there isn't a system that can be objectively proven to be the best
Yeah.
thing. It's a very subjective thing that depends largely on both the teacher that's teaching it the method they're using, as well as the student that needs to learn whatever information is being given to them.
Yeah. I was talking with my brother the other day. Fucking, we're up till like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. just talking about random stuff. But we were talking about I was talking about the English class from middle school. Can we drop teacher names? Is that
I
is that
would
too much?
I think it's largely specific to our educational
Yeah.
institute.
Hey,
So
yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
You can use like
my sixth and seventh grade
Jane
English
Doe.
teacher. My sixth and seventh grade English teacher. We'll call her Miss Corbin.
Oh God,
I think people can
no.
understand what I'm saying in that case. We'll give aliases. She always had these projects that was based off of art. Like there was always some sort of like artistic element in every single project. So it's like for me, who is someone that I'm not good at drawing, and I'm not good at artistic expression on paper. Like those are projects that I struggled with, even though I understood the class and like, whatever. Just because like that, it was so heavily like inspired, or like heavily revolved around doing artwork, which I don't know. Like obviously, there's kids that like they're like, oh, dude, yes, I get to do art instead of some sort of like test. Like instead of memorizing, I get to like do creative expression. But for me, it's absolutely the other way. I think there's like people that like I think it's two types of people in the world: people that love math and hate English, or people that love English and hate math.
Or
I
people just
hardly,
hate both.
or people that hate both. Yeah, I hardly meet anyone that falls into or that is like, oh yeah, I like both math and English, on like a broader scale or whatever.
Yeah.
I think really like with what you're saying on how like some kids don't respond like well to art projects, it really goes like what you said with the whole like projects really focus on one niche.
Yeah.
So I think like teachers really should give an option
Mhm.
on like projects, or even like a choice between a project or a test, depending on like what the student wants to do more.
Yeah.
Because some like really just they understand the concept or the topic or whatever, but they just
Yeah.
aren't good at tests. Like they could do a
Yeah.
better job at a project.
Yeah. One of my favorite projects we did last year was in the atomic age class. I guess I can drop class names, right? Like that's pretty
Yeah,
broad
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
We had this final project where it was such a loose like end of the spectrum, but I ended up doing like this movie review, like movie kind of critique of the Mad Max films, which like I watched all 4 films, and then I just started like saying, oh, this is what happens. This is like some themes, like this is like whatever, and that was just one of my favorite projects because there were kids that wrote stories. There was kids that I assume presentation would have been an option, but like that was such a like I could like the teacher was like, yo, just like literally do whatever you want, or as
Yeah.
long as it relates within like very very loose criteria, like I was able to do something that I was like actually passionate about, which like making that video. Like I love doing video editing, or I love doing just like I love like putting out my thoughts in a format that isn't written down because I'm so bad at writing. But
Yeah.
in comparison, like I can talk in this podcast for hours, and by the end, people will be like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Either that, or they're gonna be like, "I have no idea what lyrics saying." One of those two options is probably what's gonna happen. But yeah, like when I can just ramble and stuff, like that's such a nice format.
I think yeah, one of the better options when it comes to like anything related to education would be to just give as many options as you can to the student and have them choose what is more like fine-tuned to their specific like thought processes and like
Yeah, for sure.
their passions and what they like to do best. And that's I think the best way to measure their I guess for lack of a better term, competence in a certain area in terms of like their understanding and whatever.
Maybe like knowledge would be a better word.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Competence.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the teacher who we had for the atomic age, I think the way like he gives or she gives a like an option, like you pretty much have an almost infinite amount of choices for what kind of project you're gonna do, and I really like that freedom. And if like you're still like stumped, like it kind of just overwhelms you and you don't know what you're gonna do, you can meet with them and like just one-on-one discuss and I think that's really just a really good way to do things.
Yeah.
That is literally the biggest cheat for going through school. Meet with the teachers. I learned this last year, right? For English, I'm like I said, I hate English. I'm terrible at English, but because like I said, I'm terrible at writing down my thoughts in like a way that makes sense. But I'm able to just like ramble. So when I actually go and meet like with the English teacher, who like I said, we won't drop names. Um, it's like together we're capable of taking like my rambling and putting it down to whatever, or just meeting with atomic age teacher, or meeting with whatever teacher that I had. It's like it gets you on track, honestly. Like if anyone's reading or watching this, not reading, if anyone's watching this, like that's my biggest suggestion for going into high school is like meet with your teacher and then get guidance from them.
Yeah.
That it's such an effective method, at least for me.
I think that's
I find it really effective.
another important part about like if you have a teacher that's going to be allowing like such a broad range of different
Mhm.
like types of projects or different media formats to be submitted, it's important to have a good support system for the people that either have way too many ideas and they don't know what to do, or the people that don't really have anything formed in their heads yet about what they're like planning on doing moving forward. That'll really help them, like, I guess, get everything they want to express like out of their heads and into like an actual format that can be turned in and graded.
And I think, oh shit, my garage is opening. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
I mean, you
I hear a thing
probably could
rumbling
hear
in the
my
background.
bird like in the background every once in a while.
I think because like we're really focusing on that atomic age class, and that was for those of you who don't know, an elective that teacher just came up with and put it on the roster. A lot of teachers really don't have the freedom, I don't think, to just be able to say do this project. Like a lot of them are on a relatively strict curriculum.
Yeah, that's
to follow.
absolutely true. They have to follow the curriculum.
Yeah.
Like with math, they have to teach these topics and they have to do, these tests or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
with English, like they have books that I don't think it's entirely decided by the English teachers that each school has. Like, for public schools, they have a curriculum that's just given to them.
yeah.
But obviously, us going to a private school, I think our teachers get more of a choice, but
Like it's still not the degree of freedom to where like you're able to do an interpretive dance in place of a math test
Yeah.
or something.
Were we gonna do that for history one time?
yeah, history. We're gonna do an
Yeah,
interpretive dance.
for Native American colonization or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Do the smallpox.
And-
yeah.
Yeah, I think when students criticize teachers, like how we've kind of been doing for stuff, they don't like realize that teachers kind of are trapped in a box on a lot of things, and just think that teachers just at the beginning of the year come up with everything, because that's how I personally thought it was like years ago.
Yeah.
I thought like the teacher just came up with everything from scratch, and then when I found out that there's like curriculums and stuff they have to follow and like deadlines they have to meet for everything, I was a bit more understanding on a lot of things.
Yeah, like the great thing about that atomic age class was that he was using the teacher was using feedback from us like the whole time, and he was like, is this something that you guys want to do, or we could modify this project to make more sense to you or whatever. So it like it was an elective. It clearly wasn't a class that there was any like limits to, or there was any like forced structure. It was like we were really able to make it the class that we wanted to take, because like, it is an elective. It was something that we had to sign up for that wasn't required. Like we were really able to mold it into a class that we enjoyed, at least I think for me and probably for a couple of other people.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So
So what are your guys' favorite classes and why?
He's
I
just
haven't
like the
gone
prompt
through
giver now.
yeah, I haven't gone through enough this year to get to form an opinion on any of them.
I mean like it just in general.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, all of my classes are the same, so assuming it's going to be the same structure, I really enjoy history and I really enjoy my math, because I think the teachers that that teach both of those, their teaching style makes sense to me. You know, like I've had a ton of different math teachers. Like the math teacher we had in 10th grade, what was his name? I don't even remember. Dude, what was his name? He left, I think. Well, he had this. He was the one that had the support dog. If
Oh, yeah,
anyone-
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I actually don't remember his name.
No name
That's
drop.
weird.
Bruh.
Cheese, Mr.
Oh
Mac and
yeah,
Cheese.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're
We call
really
him-
towing the line
We're
against
it's
name
kind of on the
dropping
nose
right
here.
now. I'm pretty sure that qualifies as name dropping.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
no. Shh. Don't worry about it.
yeah. We can bleep that out.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like
Mr.
for him,
Bleep and Cheese.
yeah. For him, like his class structure was so fitting for like the majority of people. Like the way he taught, like he was a really smart person, honestly. Like the way he taught was so like it was so outside of the box that I think it made sense for every single person because at least to a degree, every single person dislikes how a math class is taught. Like the way that he taught the class and the way that he presented information was just it was so good. I don't know, but at the same time, you know, going into 11th grade and 12th grade, which I have the same teacher for math. We'll call him the professor. Like his math class makes a lot of sense for me personally because I'm someone that understands math at a higher level. You know, my dad's a math tutor. Shout out to Hawaii Math Tutor. If you guys need math tutoring, go.
Is that a
contact me.
sponsor?
Yeah, we'll get that as a sponsor. Yo, Dad, you hear that? You owe me $20 now. But yeah, you know, my dad's like I've always grown up around higher level math, or you know, higher than what my level was math. You know, and so have my siblings, and you know, we all kind of excel at math. But the way that he teaches the class for me makes a lot of sense.
Would you like to go into specifics on how your past math teachers and like what worked well for you and that kind of stuff?
Well, I don't know. I think
This feels like an interview.
yeah, it really does.
I'm
with
just trying to keep
Professor-
lines going right now.
yeah,
We need a
with the
script or something.
Yeah. I have a topic we can move on after, but we'll get to that. With the professor, I think I don't know, he just presents information as it is, and the class structure outside of that is really loose. Like he lets us take group tests and stuff, like instead of just doing a solo test, you know. So it's like it relieves a lot of stress. I think that's kind of the main thing is that it's not like he's presenting the information in a different way. Like he's still doing the lecture. He still goes up to the board and says, you know, learn whatever, learn this. Or this is the topic. But you know, like there's a lot of stress relieved from it, and I think that makes sense for me.
Yeah.
It's neither of you were in my math class last year, but there was one time where he said if we can guess a coin flip 5 times in a row, so that's a 1 in 32 chance, right? It was a 1 in 32 chance. I don't know if it's 5 times. Then we could have a group test, and we actually got it. So, out of all the 32 possibilities, we had the best timeline, which obviously did not last because we're now living in the darkest timeline. But
You used
But
it up
yeah.
on the coin flips.
We
we
used
used
up all of
we used
2020's
all the
luck.
luck at the coin flips. Yeah, we ruined it, bro. Shame. But yeah, I think let's move away from education because I think we've kind of covered that. Coronavirus. We might have to. I don't know if YouTube still demonetizes that, but it's not like we're gonna make money off of this anyway.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
think we'll be fine to say it.
Or, like,
How has
one viewer.
the pandemic been for you guys in comparison to like what you've seen on or what like your friends have, what you've seen with your friends or what you've seen with other people?
I've actually been like really productive since like I'm stuck at home and I don't just like sitting around for too long. So I just try to like do stuff like whether it's like just super small stuff like just like chores or like gardening or cooking or stuff like that. Just anything just to keep me going, you know.
I just want to
Yeah.
grill for God's sakes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've been grilling. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, for me, nothing's really like changed since most of the time I like stay home anyways, unless I'm going out with like friends and stuff. Which doesn't happen all that often because I don't really like leaving my house. But I don't know. Nothing's really changed for me, and in terms of personal experience, I've been homeschooled for most of my life up until high school anyways.
Yeah, that is true.
So, like
You're
even
already
with
used to this,
schooling and
somewhat.
like just the normal daily routines, everything's kind of the same as it always used to be for me.
Yeah.
It's not that big of an adjustment I have to make.
Yeah, I think it's been a little different for me because, like, like you, Chris, I don't really go out and hang out with people that much outside of school. But the thing is, like, when I do have school, that's when I'm doing a majority of my hanging out. Like, I like people say like, oh, are you an introvert or are you extrovert? But I think really there's a scale there, and I think I fall like kind of like among a 50-50.
Like
Well,
Where it's like
there's ambivert.
ambivert,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
ambivert, yeah. But I think for me, it's like, I don't go out and I don't go hang out with people on weekends because I'm already doing that throughout the entire week, and I might as well spend alone time or whatever, during the time that I have free. And the other thing is I have extracurriculars like riflery 3 times a week, volleyball all the time during the seasons,
Yeah.
of course, in which those happen. And riflery. Or actually, no, we have riflery tournaments every weekend, so that's 4 times a week. Yeah. So for me, I think it's been a little different for me, but for you too, it seems like we're all doing at least somewhat well.
Yeah.
I'm still pissed that they gotta close restaurants though. I get
Yeah,
that it's a
that's true.
necessary thing, but man's gotta eat
Yeah.
out of restaurants.
Yeah.
Just go fishing. And grill the
True.
fish.
Bro. Yeah. We've just been getting takeout or like ordering a pizza or whatever. Just pick up a pizza or something.
Yeah.
Which it's not the same experience. It's not like you get to spend time like outside, but it's like I'm just eating in my own house. It's just I'm eating food from that I didn't cook.
Yeah. For me and my family specifically, we haven't exactly been like eating out a lot. Like we just kind of prefer to just eat at home whenever we can because like I think it's healthier. That's pretty much the only
Yeah.
reason.
And cheaper.
And cheaper.
Yeah, and a lot
yeah.
cheaper.
Yeah. In terms of stuff like that, we haven't really made any changes and stuff. Yeah. We'll still like get takeout every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest change for me that happened during the pandemic was my parents are going to get divorced, which I'm not sure where in the process that is, but that's a set thing. Like it's gonna happen. Like I don't know where in the legal process that is specifically, but fucking it's a lot of fucking weird shit because my parents are taking time off, so like most of the time I'm only around one of them, which it's really fucking
Yeah.
weird.
That's gotta be rough, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I've
Which
seen like
I think.
sorry, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I've seen like statistics. I don't know exactly the numbers, but I know that there's been like a jump in people either like, getting a divorce or like just breaking up in the middle of the quarantine because like once you're like either there are two scenarios that can happen. They're either living together and like you might get tired of each other or whatever, or like issues might pop up and you can't really like do anything about it because you're like kind of stuck in close proximity. And then two, they're either like distance, they're quarantined away from each other, so that can also provide issues in terms of like people who can't handle long distance relationships that well, or
For sure.
like, people that don't know how to sort out problems without being physically in front of each other.
Well, I know from my experience, my parents, like, this was something that was coming before the pandemic really started. Like, they announced it. It's always weird to say, like, it's always weird to announce, like, hey, my parents are getting divorced, because usually announcements are like such a happy thing, like, oh, I'm announcing that I'm getting married, or I'm announcing that I'm having a child. But it's like I haven't really told anyone like on the record besides like the actual like 4 or 5 friends that I actually care about, and I've mentioned it to my teachers as well. But like I haven't really announced that my parents are getting divorced. But either way, it was something that was coming before. Like it kind of happened like the first couple weeks into when the quarantine started, like during like the part that was still like our extended spring break before we had gone back to school. Like that was when it happened.
That was around the time volleyball was ending, right?
Yeah, that was probably a week or 2 after volleyball ended. But yeah, I'm just waiting for them to start like living apart, because I think once they're living apart, I think a lot of the problems that at least I have regarding that will go away. Because the biggest problem is that they're just not communicating with each other. and while both parents still have custody, like you can't just not communicate. Like there's just stuff that it's like, I say this all the time to both of them. It's like they keep complaining to me like, oh, why is your other parent doing this? I'm just like, well, like go talk to them. Like if you have a problem, go talk to them, or whatever, just like go talk to them. And it never happens. But
I feel like that's what happens in a lot of scenarios where like the two parents or like spouses, I guess, are on like speaking terms exactly with each other.
Yeah.
They'll often use the like their children as the proxy to speak to the other person, or like try to get a better understanding, and
or to
I
like
think
get back at them.
Yeah,
that's the other
I
thing.
think that's
like,
really unfair to the one
It's
stuck
nuts.
in the middle. It's like the whole issue is just put directly in your face, and you're not able to like choose not to confront it. They're like forcing it upon you.
Yeah, like for me, I think I'll try and wrap up the divorce conversation because I don't know if this is incredibly interesting, but like I'm more than willing to talk about it if viewers want to hear more about it.
I gotta give you a lot of credit for being like so open about it on the
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think it's like
check.
this is the first time that
30 minutes in, and we're getting on the divorce topic.
Yeah, this is the first time I've really talked about it too much to anyone outside of like my 2 or 3 like closest friends. But I was saying something. Like I think what was I saying? I don't even know. I completely lost my train of thought.
The last part you were on was like how one would like talk to you and ask about the other.
Oh yeah. Well, I think for some cases, at least in more extreme cases, like one parent will use the kids to get back at the other, or something like that. And this doesn't happen a lot for me. Honestly, for me, the problem is just the lack of communication. But like one parent will like buy the kid or like take the kid to Disneyland or something like that. Just to like get back at the other parent to try and like have the moral high ground or whatever. And it's like they can do that all they want, but the best way that you can parent while they're still living together is by communicating and by setting rules and by setting boundaries together.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll move on from that. What do you guys have to talk about? Done anything interesting lately?
I've been inside all day, every day.
Dude, that's epic.
I don't know. Since school started back up, like a few days ago, my sleep schedule has gone from like bad to worse. So like I'll still be sleeping late, but I'd be forced to wake up early, and then like I'd wake up barely in time. I'd go to each of my classes, and then after that, I would take like a 1 to 3 hour nap like in the afternoon. And
same here. Yeah, that happens for me whenever my sleep schedule. It's a really weird system. I'll try and explain it. Like there's a normal like wake up at 7, go to sleep at like 10, and then that gets pushed back a little, right? And then like I'm going to sleep later and later in the day, and then it gets to a point where it's like if I'm staying up till 3 a.m., then I'm gonna take a nap at the other like when I'm awake when during like the middle of the day, right? It's not like I'm just being nocturnal. It's like I'm taking a nap because I still need to get up in the morning, right? Like, and then essentially I'm running 2 sleep schedules. Like I'm awake during half the day, I'm asleep during half the day. And then I'm awake during part of the night, and then I'm asleep during part of the night. It's really weird. That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I've got going on right now. Like I was up till probably three last night, and then my internet cut out, so I decided to go to sleep. Which
okay, so since we're on like that topic, do you guys know if like the different like sleep cycle things, like the Uberman sleep cycle, that kind of stuff?
The
never
what?
heard of that.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is what Da Vinci did, where it's pretty much like you take like 6 increments of 30 minutes of sleep every like I think it was like 2 hours or something like that, or 4 hours or whatever is the equivalent of like 24 hours a day times that. So you get like 3 hours of sleep a day, but you're still like a functioning. I don't know how true it is. I've heard a couple people do it, but that was just something I thought was just cool as fuck.
Yeah, that's weird. I know like in solitary confinement, if like the people can't see the sun, or if the people don't know what like days are, people in solitary will like they're instead of going awake 16 hours a day and then asleep for like 8, I think that adds up to 24. They'll be awake for 32 hours and then asleep for like 16 or something. They'll be essentially functioning on like a 2-day scale. So they're awake for double what their normal time is, and then they're asleep for double what their normal time is. Like, cause you just lose track. It's like, how'd you know?
I feel like whatever the cycle Ian described, it's like you'll be able to function as like proved by the few people who've done it, but I think you're gonna be losing out on the feeling of being like refreshed or like ready to do stuff. You're kind of just gonna be running on fumes at that point. I think
And
it would feel like.
Yeah, and it's really inconvenient because you got to keep doing
Yeah,
it
you have to
every
sleep
couple
every
of
30
hours.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have any like real like plans
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah, for sure. That reminds me of like doing drugs throughout the day. Like if you take like a small amount, like if
Only
you ever
took us
seen Wolf of
35
Wall
minutes to
Street,
get on the narcotics.
like Wolf of Wall Street, the movie where he's like snorting like cocaine like throughout the day or whatever in like really small doses and stuff like that. That reminds me of that. Like it's like a really small amount, like just all throughout the day. It's like a continuous thing or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of weird. I assume like similar problems would arise with that sleep schedule and with doing drugs like that, which I don't endorse doing drugs. Don't do drugs.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something I thought of.
Yeah.
All right. What topics do
What's
we have?
next on our non-existent agenda?
Yeah, we gotta pull something out. Ian, you got anything?
Yeah, in hindsight, we probably could do with like a bit more planning on
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
topics and whatever.
What are your goals with the podcast? What do you want to see happen in the future?
Have
I want
fun, really.
sponsorships. I want money.
I'll get money. Buy Ian a webcam finally.
Yeah.
I bought it. Okay, I just bought a webcam on Amazon. It's okay.
How much did you
It's
pay
a-
for that? Dude,
Uh,
they're sold out everywhere. What?
It's on Amazon. I don't know if it's accurate. It's just the first one I saw that has a USB port. It's $50.
Is it like an actual brand or is it some Chinese knockoff?
It's probably Chinese knockoff.
Did
I
you
don't
get to
know.
see the webcam I had from like 2008, Ian?
It's
What
so
now?
blurry.
Yeah, I had a webcam that we used in our old like desktop back in like 2008 to 2012 ish. It looks like you've gone to a book club meeting and you forgot your reading glasses. That's how bad the quality is.
It's an oddly specific example.
Are you speaking from personal experience, Chris?
Absolutely, yeah.
You're in a book club.
I also forgot my glasses.
Don't we have a book club? That's
We have a
cool.
literature club.
We have literature club, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what they do. I know.
I mean, not anymore, probably.
Oh yeah, that's true. All clubs are basically dead, or
Just
at least until we get
join a
back.
Zoom call and read together.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do? That. Yeah, it's whack. There was something I was gonna branch off from that, but I forgot. Dude, my brain moves so quickly. I don't even know.
I'm just too
so
smart,
weird.
guys. It's okay.
No, it's not that. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. That's the problem. Like, I was gonna get tested sometime over the summer, but since all the like testing things are closed because coronavirus, like I didn't really get the chance to. That's something I want to do before I go to college for sure.
Hmm.
But like the way when I hear people describe like the way their brain works on ADHD, I think like, oh yeah, dude, I exactly see how that makes sense, or like that I relate to that or whatever.
You know, honestly, I might have like one or like another like type of that kind of. I guess learning disability maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never gone into like symptoms. I've never actually done research in terms of
Yeah.
like how it would affect me and stuff like that. But
Yeah, well, for
I
you
know.
it's fine, but dude,
I've
like my
been
time,
doing everything just fine.
yeah, like my time management just fucked. My time management is so bad, like and
And I
it's-
gotta
it's a
give you
huge problem at
credit
this point.
for actually like going to see if you can get like diagnosed instead of because you'll see a lot of people that just
Yeah, people that
self-diagnose.
self-diagnose.
Yeah, they just go on
Yeah.
WebMD. Like, it just
Yeah,
says they're
like
dying or something.
Yeah, at the moment I'm self-diagnosed, but I see I really do want to take the next steps to figure out if there's like a treatment option available or whatever, like because when it comes to I have to be in college or whatever, and if I'm gonna have to like study on my own time and I have to work on these projects and shit, like fucking I'd be fucked if with my current work ethic. It's the weirdest thing, like people with ADHD, like their work relies so much on stress. Like for me last year, and the reason that I'm on academic probation or academic support is what it's called, is because I did nothing for like I did nothing for basically that entire quarter except that last 2 weeks. That last 2 weeks, I did an entire semester of bio in a day. I did multiple projects in like in you know the time span of a day. Like I did an English essay in a day. I did a history project in a day. Like I was just like slack off, grind, and like right towards the end. But
Yeah.
that's, I mean, on a much smaller scale, that's how it goes for me most of the time. Like I'll do the project like the day before or whatever, which, you know, I think from that last semester or from the last quarter that we did where it was all distance learning, like at least I've learned a lot. You know, it's like now I know that like I'm not gonna fucking slack off till the last, you know, like last week. And I've learned a lot of methods of like figuring out how to get the work done or whatever, which sounds weird to say. It's like just do the work, but you know, like it's a real problem for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot easier for someone to just like tell someone, "Hey, do the work," than rather just, like, be in their shoes and like, yeah.
It's really easy to tell someone else to live with their pain or
Yeah.
like, you know, whatever. And that's something that I've learned. You know, it's like I can give advice all day, but when it comes to my problems, it's like I'm stumped on what to do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, episode 2, we need to come up with like a fucking list of topics.
Yeah, I had a couple, but I figure like at some point we'll just go branch off.
We'll just script the
something.
entire thing, write like a novel, and read off
Yeah,
it.
we'll write a novel each
Exactly.
week just to get that done. So, let's talk about the title.
I wonder
The
if this
base
can count
department.
towards our creativity.
Just creative hours, dude. I'm
Yeah.
sure it does, for sure. There's no way it wouldn't. Like it has to, bro. Like Mr.
Bruh.
Or we can bleep that. Mr.
Bruh.
Drew. We'll call him Mr. Drew.
Bruh.
We're gonna bleep that too, because you can't say that like any part of the name.
Mr. College Counselor. The homie. He said that like with the creative stuff, it's literally learning any skill. Like as long as you're doing something that isn't just like as long as you're progressing, you know, then you're getting stuff. But what I want to talk about is the podcast name, the title. We're called the Base Department. What does that mean to you guys?
Contemporary meme.
Yeah, I don't know. In terms of a podcast, there's only like so much based you can have.
Yeah.
I think the I think the title in that sense only really it doesn't really pertain to exactly how this podcast works or anything like that. It just kind of pertains to I guess our views on certain things that are separate from this whole like system and whatnot.
Yeah. At least for
really
me, like, okay, I'll define the word. Being based is like you live your life in a way where you don't care about what other people think about you. Or you don't do stuff to please other people. You just do stuff like to do whatever makes you happy. You live your life the way that you want to do. And for me, that's a big thing. Like I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, I don't care about like just what I'm wearing or whatever. As long as it doesn't look bad, you know, it's just like I'll just do whatever the fuck I want to. But for me, like, kind of the whole idea behind the base department is that we're just gonna do whatever we want on this podcast.
Yeah.
You know, it just
Within reason.
Within reason, like obviously, like I'd be willing to talk about fucking anything from like politics to like, you know, my personal life or anything in between. But obviously, there's some things that I can't say because like I have to censor it for the school or whatever.
Or
you know, it's
Susan.
just like yeah, Susan Wojcicki, or however you pronounce her name, the YouTube CEO for those who don't know. Like obviously we couldn't just like confess to crime or something up here, like, you know. Although I haven't committed crime, I don't commit
haven't done
crimes.
any.
I'm
No,
a
can we
law-abiding
bleep?
citizen.
Can we bleep when he said I haven't committed crime, so it sounds like he's committing a crime?
Just I committed crime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I blank committed crime.
Dude, I swear if
yeah.
the base department podcast episode 1 is what finally gets Lyric put into jail, I'm
Finally, you say that like it's a long time coming.
It is.
What do you mean?
I've been trying to take you down for like 3 years now.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, bro. They've been preying on my downfall.
Sounds like a Drake lyric.
Yeah, that does sound like a Drake lyric. What do you guys think of
Okay,
Drake?
I don't want to get DMCA'd.
All right, you want to switch topics?
Sure.
Talk about this for a while. So we've actually hit the hour mark,
Yeah.
which is epic. Let's talk about something from last year. Can be pre-coronavirus or during coronavirus. What was your experiences like within the last school year? Because I feel like if we're gonna talk to if the audience of this podcast is people at the school, like we might as well say something that relates to them, right?
Yeah.
So where do we start?
So just like specific to junior year? Or...
Either our junior year, the 2019-2020 school year.
I mean, I don't really know. There wasn't really anything that like set it apart for me, exactly from the previous years. It's just kind of same old, I guess.
Yeah. Not a whole lot happens at school.
Yeah. Especially in our school.
Yeah.
On
That's
the
what I'm saying.
educational institute.
Yeah. Like well, before Chris's time, there was a lot of stuff that happened in middle school, just because there was a certain
I've
group
heard
of people,
I've heard a lot about the
certain group of people
unnamed
that
academic institute's middle school lore.
Yeah. We have an entire middle school lore essentially, but that group of people is now gone. So I mean, it's whatever. But yeah, I kind of agree with that. For me, it's like I have a hard time remembering like, oh, was that something that happened in 9th grade or was that something that happened in 10th grade? Like those years just blur together for me,
Yeah.
Because it's like the things that set them apart, I think just don't happen that much,
And I think as a part of that is we usually keep a lot of the same teachers the next year.
Yep.
So it's hard to differentiate.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
like our experience isn't shifting.
A lot of the like I guess things that are anchored in each different academic year would be the students that either come and go. Although like with our school specifically, that won't be like, a large
Jack
number.
Phillip.
Jack
Phillip. I would say he's probably one of. I'm not trying to praise him. I'm not saying he's a good person, but he's probably one of the more influential. And
he was memorable.
My friend group. Yeah, he was really influential and memorable, up until he got expelled.
Yeah.
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 Bro, nowadays you can't get expelled because it's like, what are you gonna do? Put your knife away? You're at home. Like if he had lasted until now, you could just take the knife out.
I don't think you can take a knife out of a Zoom meeting though.
I think you could, as long as you weren't threatening someone. I think you could. I sharpened my pencil with a knife the other during what was it, Spanish? It was either Spanish or English. No, it was definitely Spanish. I was writing in Spanish.
This was the last day we saw Lyric in a Zoom meeting.
Lyric gets expelled. Yeah. Well, I guess we did do different stuff. Chris and I are in rivalry, both of us. I remember I mentioned that at the start, but you're also in rivalry. What is that like? Give us an overview of what era.
Your audio cut out for a second there.
Oh, hello. Testing.
Yeah, you
give
it. It just cuts out randomly.
Okay.
It seems.
All right. Give us an overview of what air riflery is like.
You grab the gun, you shoot it at the target. It's the paper target. You hit the middle, you win.
No, but I mean like the experience. What's the experience like?
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot different than like a bunch of other sports and stuff like that, because it's not exactly the most physically demanding. You basically
it's not a team thing either.
Yeah.
Like I can go and do my own. I can come to practice, talk to no one, and then leave, and then like yeah. What other sport has that?
It's got a certain like type of individualism to it that I think is unique to it and like some other sports that are kind of like it. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe the experience. You just go in, you shoot targets, and then you leave.
Yeah, I think we mess around a lot. Like I have so many memories of like the starbursts or whatever.
Yeah.
Starburst. Yeah. For those who don't understand the context of that, Chris, it just became a running joke that Chris has some addiction to starburst that makes him act like retarded or something. Can I say that?
I'd say
wouldn't.
no.
I would bleep that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The R word makes him act the R word.
You could just say dumb.
Dumb. Yeah, makes him act dumb. But yeah, like I don't know. I remember so many things of just us like fucking around in right for like just not doing anything
Oh yeah.
or whatever, you know.
Speaking about the Starburst thing, I despise Starburst.
Yeah, that's the other
I
thing. They
hate
don't
it.
even like Starburst.
Yeah, it became like a joke like a year or two ago that I would like had this like weird addiction to Starburst and like
It's like me with
I
Mountain
would do
Dew. For
yeah
everyone
I
that,
would do like
yeah,
literally anything for a Starburst. Um, no, I don't exactly know how that started,
yeah,
but I hate Starburst so
yeah.
much.
And then there's the time that someone gave you Starburst and you're like, dude, I don't even want these. Gave me like,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay for Secret Santa. I think I was given like a large bag of Starbursts,
yeah, yeah.
and I think that's when the thing started that I was like addicted to them or whatever.
No, I think when it started was when I bought a bag. I bought a fucking $10 bag of Starburst, huge ass bag, and I think I gave you one or something like that. And then you just started acting weird because I remember buying a huge bag of Starburst, and then the thing was that I couldn't eat them because I had just gotten braces on
Ah,
at the
yeah.
time. This was in like 10th grade. Is that I had just gotten my braces on, so it was like I'm not allowed to eat these anymore. So I was giving away a ton. I think that's when it started. But yeah, just the thing that you like despise Starburst is so funny. And people keep giving you them and
Yeah,
stuff like
I
that.
think I've only told you about it.
Yeah.
Also, hold on,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
shutting my door. I can hear audio.
Oh, okay. About to head out. Okay, I'm not actually about to head out.
I saw you just 180 in your mirror.
Yeah, I was visible in the mirror. The other weird things that Chris has a lot of simps. Like that's a
what?
weird thing to say. Dude, there's so many like fucking girls in our grade that just give you random stuff. Or sorry, in our school that just give you random stuff.
Dude, I think like half the people in like or our grade just don't like me. I don't know.
I know a lot of people don't like me either. Or people's perception of me is like really different. But dude, there's like so many random people that just like fucking give you lunch or like will give you fucking just like food or just random stuff throughout the day.
It's because he's homeless.
Bruh.
They see me as a charity case. That's
That
about
reminds me
it.
of one time. There was one time way back in middle school. Chris wasn't here for this, where I forgot my lunch, so I just held up the sign that said food, and people gave me lunch.
Oh yeah, I
I was,
remember
I was
that.
basically homeless. Yeah. And my dad threw the sign away.
Wait, no,
Sad
I think
end.
I might remember that, but I'm not sure. Cause I
No, that was
Are you
in
sure?
middle school.
It was either in 8th grade or it was in 9th grade.
It might
I
have been
remember
in
I
something
think it was.
similar to
I
it,
think it was
but
probably in 8th grade. Because I was sitting at the stone outside of like the big rectangle, you know, the big
Yeah.
rectangle outside. Because it was immediately as people exit the school
obelisk.
for lunch. Yeah, bro, the obelisk. It's like a fire hydrant or something, but it's a stone and it's not like.
Yeah.
I don't get why that is, but
Well, I think they
Anyway.
made it a block so that like people don't kill themselves on it accidentally.
yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It's less aggressively shaped.
Yeah.
Aggressively shit.
Fire hydrants are aggressive. Oh, I guess they're bright yellow. It's a pretty aggressive color.
I don't know.
I
They got
guess.
like these things like sticking out of
Yeah,
them.
on the side. It's kind of weird. I don't know what that is for. That why like, because I think it has different knobs than a normal fire hydrant. The block does.
Hmm.
Or something, because it has two. Fire hydrants have like three, I thought. And
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly caught up on the anatomy of a fire
Yeah,
hydrant.
I don't know about the fire hydrant lore, to be honest.
The lore.
Where'd we go? We went from
We're talking about riflery. We're talking
yeah,
about
we
like,
went
last
from
year.
riflery to Starburst
To Chris is
Sims.
homeless.
Yeah, then to me being homeless.
Then
and
to
a
me
charity
being
case.
homeless for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or being foodless, I guess.
I should do
Let's-
that one day, like when we get back. Wait, no, maybe not when we get back to school because I don't want to like catch something and die.
Yeah, true.
I was-
yeah, I don't want to share food.
I
with
wish I
anyone,
did
you
that
know?
before.
Yeah, in theory. Yeah, that's kind of true. Like school may never be the same, you know.
I'll try
Or-
begging random people in college.
Yeah. Once we get to college, maybe. Who knows? Let's look back to last year. What other stuff did we do, or what other stuff like happened?
Oh,
You know? Just experiences, because I feel like that's like somewhat interesting to talk about. You know?
Yeah. See, I think you overestimate us because we are very much not interesting people.
Yeah, we're very
Yeah.
boring people, I guess.
I mean, I've had my moments of interestingness.
Yeah. I feel like
Like,
most of
I
the
don't
the
know.
moments or most of like the memories that I have or the stories that I can tell are these really small things.
Yeah.
Like there was a time that we fucking were waving plastic knives around during that one class bonding or something like that. Do you remember that?
Me?
Yeah,
I
you.
I like faintly. I
Yeah.
remember the one class bonding we had like Peyton shotgun a Sprite.
Oh yeah. I do remember that. Me too. Yeah, I remember that. We opened it with the scissors,
Yeah.
with a pair of scissors.
And you just, like,
I believe it was where did I put the scissors? God damn it.
I still
So
see the
actually, where
painting
did
in
I
the
put the
back.
scissors? Oh, here you go. I believe it was this exact pair of scissors. This was the one that we shuck on that with. But yeah, shout out to Peyton.
And his feature in this
Yeah,
podcast right there
yeah,
in the
bro.
background.
Yeah, right here. Shout out to Peyton. Yeah, shout out to Peyton.
Unbeknownst to him, and without his
Yeah.
consent
Yeah,
or
without his
permission.
permission. Yeah, he probably doesn't even know we're doing this thing. uh, I was waiting for someone to pay at the junior store for one of these because like I said, I'm in class council and we were the ones that were running the junior store. And I had said to Elijah, if anyone pays with a Peyton dollar bill, if anyone had kept one of these and paid me with one of them, I would have accepted it as money. I would have given them food. I would have given them $1 worth of food, but no one ever tried to pay with one of those or something.
It's
Honestly,
weird
the
now.
experience is.
Yeah.
Go ahead, go
We're
ahead.
not running the shop anymore this year.
Yeah, I know. The experiences and the stuff. Someone paid with their soul once for a fork. Someone bought a fork and paid with their soul.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
And
Yep.
well, they bought it back from Elijah, which I did not agree on. I would have kept their soul, but yeah, we had a lot of weird. Someone paid with a box. I used to give
remember
the
the
boxes
box.
away. I used to give the box away. I used to walk up to like a random ninth grade and be like, "Hey, you want a box?" And
Yeah,
because
I managed
had to get
give
rid of
away
it.
a bunch of those.
Yeah. We just
I
gave away
also
boxes and
I
stuff.
know like the combinations to like 4 or 5 different lockers, and occasionally I would just drop a box.
Oh
in there.
yeah, that's right. I have the fridge combo still. If they probably should change it by next year, else I'm gonna have access to it. Although
Is that
I
a
won't
threat?
steal anything. No. I'm not gonna steal anything from them. I'm not a fucking thief. But yeah, just because there's other people that know it as well.
It feels weird that we're not going to be running the shop anymore. Like that
I
was
know,
such a
'cause it's
that
like-
was such a staple of our junior year.
Yeah, I know. Well, at least for me, because like I was always in it. You were in it quite a lot, and Ian was hardly ever in
Ian
it. But
tagged he like tagged along.
yeah, I
with me
tagged along with
occasionally.
you. But we never got like closure. That's the thing. I think that's the reason why. It's because the year just got cut in half.
Yeah.
It's like, during
The
spring
last
semester, it's
time-
like
The
we
last
never
time I was
got enough
ever
time
in
to
that shop.
officially close it. Yeah.
The last time I was ever in that shop was the last day of school, where we were all just like in our
Yeah.
homerooms, and then
Yep.
we went in there to get like fruit to give out to like a bunch of people because
Yeah,
they
that's
would
right. Because
expire.
we had a date. I was actually in there I was in there later that day because we had volleyball that day. It was our last day of volleyball practice,
Yeah.
and we had gone on a field trip, I believe.
Yeah,
Right?
We caught back from the field trip in the mountains. I
Yeah.
think.
And it was like I didn't eat much lunch or something like that, and I was starving, so I was like, dude, I need some food. So I went in and I bought a couple snacks.
I remember
then closed
Ocean
it.
almost cut my
And
leg
that was the
off
last
with a
time we
machete.
ever accessed it. When was that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
what?
were cutting
Yeah,
down the what were they like
At the field trip.
Yeah.
The science field trip. That was what
the
it was,
guava
right?
trees, Or
Was it the
strawberry
science field
guava.
trip that day? It must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're cutting down like invasive trees, and Ocean almost
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
my leg off.
Yeah.
I also cut my
And,
finger.
That was somewhat fun. What did we do that day? What was the first half of that activity? Oh, it was just us walking up there,
Yeah,
wasn't
we
it?
walked and we planted stuff.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Ian skipped.
Oh, no, I think,
I was very, very sick that day.
No, okay. I know like the meme is that you skip fucking things a lot, but I remember there was one time. There was one time you were
He-
genuinely
He's prone
sick.
to sickness. He's a very
Yeah.
sickly child.
Yeah.
I'm an ill
yeah.
man.
But I remember sometimes that like fucking you were actually sick because you didn't come to school the next day, even though it was like a normal school day or whatever.
Still sick.
Yep,
He's
still
a
sick.
frail boy.
I'm a frail old man.
Yeah. Ian's secretly like 81. Just comes back to school anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I, for one, have called it.
You
Nice.
probably have.
We hardly ever did field trips. That's kind of weird. I think
Yeah.
we only went on a field trip that wasn't a service activity. Well, no, because okay, we did the bio field trip or the science field trip. Sorry, it was for everyone in science. We did that, and I seriously don't think we did a single other field trip throughout all of high school. I can't remember one.
I wonder if we're going on another field trip, like, if everything clears out before the end of
Yeah,
the year.
everything went back to normal.
So,
I don't
yeah.
even know. I know
Well,
for senior year.
normalcy is gonna be really hard to attain.
Yeah,
I think
because
that-
it's gonna be
Yeah.
the thing is it's gonna be a new normal. It's not. We're not gonna go back to what we had before. It's gonna be something that's completely new. You know.
It's weird to think that the events that we're living through right now could be affecting, like, all of future history.
Yeah, yeah. Our next 100 years or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
But what was this? Something about field trips. Oh, for senior year, we got there's a lot of like bonding stuff,
Oh,
like
yeah. Were we supposed
Project
to...
Grad,
Yeah.
and then the Kauai trip or whatever. Like we're gonna go to
Dude,
Kauai.
Honestly, if we don't have the ability to do anything in person for Project Grad, I would gladly take whatever, like, my share of that money would be.
Yeah,
Just
same
split
here.
it throughout
It's,
all our grade.
I don't know if I can say the finances, but it's a lot. Like
$8 million.
like we're looking at multiple $100s per person in
Dude,
funding.
honestly, I think that would be, like, a really nice choice. Like, literally just splitting up the money
Yeah,
and giving
honestly,
it to people. That
if
would
we can't
help
do it,
so
yeah,
much
just-
with
yeah.
like enrollment fees and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
living
for sure.
costs for college.
Give the money back to the people.
Yeah, bro, wealth distribution.
Seize the means of class bonding.
We're taking the money back. Well, yeah, because we did those 2 skating fundraisers, which shout out to everyone that showed up to those. Thanks for the support. But
I was there.
those got
How
us
about
a
a hot
lot.
dog?
Yeah, I bought a hot dog too, I think. Or I bought a pizza or something. That got us a lot of money. Yeah. And then the other thing that they do each year, so if there's any current juniors watching this, they do $10,000. The school gives $10,000 towards Project Grad for the juniors doing a couple of like service things. Like one of the things we did was, what is it called? Grand Expedition? Or did they change the
think
name?
so. Or whatever that auction thing was.
Yeah, the auction thing. They give like you run that, and then there's a bunch of other stuff, which is actually towards the end of the year. Which we actually didn't end up doing those because it got cut. Like we weren't able to do it. Like the athletic banquet is something that we probably would have helped run. Like senior buddies was something that we would have helped run. And they give you $10,000, or we might censor that amount, large amount of money, towards the junior class that for running those events. But
Yeah,
we
that
never
might,
did
like
we never did most of the
change
events.
this year, especially
Yeah,
with
yep.
with everything going on. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if there is no Project Grad. I wonder what they did with the money last year. Because last year
I think
seniors
they
didn't
sent
have a
home,
Project
like, care
Grad.
package things or something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
And, like, it
That's
just
like the-
consisted of, like, a T-shirt and, like, a bunch of other
that's
stuff.
like the formal way to do it. Like you don't just give out money. You like you give it in like
Should.
forms of gift cards or something. You know.
Yeah.
Money's
Yeah,
just
honestly,
gift
I'd
cards
rather
for
just have
everywhere.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, it'd be super helpful if we gave out money. I'll talk to class council. That's something that we could look into.
I don't know. I have a feeling that there's probably some like law against it.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Cause I think in theory it's a different bank account though. It's a different account. That would be the problem. Actually, I'm not going to go into the specific to the finance, but there may be some sort of limitation to it. You're right. There may be some sort of limitation that prevents us from doing that.
Yeah. If
So
we're
we've reached.
I have
hour and 20 minutes.
another topic that we can kind of
All right,
bring
let's
up
do
a
it.
little
Let's
bit.
do it.
So we can talk about, like, the first time like we've interacted with each other, like either
Oh, that's
way.
true.
Yeah.
That would be a good topic. Okay, where do we start? Okay, so Chris and I knew each other from
Summer of fifth.
sixth grade. We did a
of
summer,
fifth
yeah.
grade. Yeah.
So from the summer from our 5th to 6th grade year, we had a robotics camp together with quite possibly one of the strangest teachers I've ever had, the rolling chair man.
Beep.
I didn't say his name. Why would you censor that? He's the rolling chair man. Literally, no one's gonna get that except like
Anyone
maybe
who was
Elijah.
in our class in middle school.
Okay, yeah, true. But he's gone now. He's long gone now. He teaches. I won't dox where he teaches. I'm not gonna say that.
Doxing our teachers.
Yeah,
let's not do
we had him, and I remember the first time that. Okay, so we had hung out during that entire. We had hung out during that entire summer, during that class, and we just never talked to each other again. Although obviously, like we knew who each other were, and like we saw each other sometimes.
Did we see each other in Kentucky?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we didn't actually hang out. I remember I walked past you and your sister. Yep, we did. And then when we came back, we met at orientation of our 9th grade year. And it was so awkward for the first walk because I kept glancing over from halfway through, and I was thinking, "Is that Chris? Is that kid I know from way back, like 3 years ago or whatever?" And then at the end, like you walked up and you're like we had talked to each other or something, and we were just talking about Overwatch or something really basic.
Yeah.
And we hit it off at that point, and then yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. Like we've only had like I think a day, and that was the orientation of like awkwardness before it like became like just how normal friends would speak.
Yeah,
to
like
each
for the
other.
first week of school, because we had I want to say the meme name, but that's censored. We can't say that. You know, with the special one. Our 9th grade teacher. Yeah. That's a funny story. Maybe we'll tell that someday. Episode 50. Maybe we'll tell that.
Episode
50.
But with our 9th grade homeroom teacher, was that when they started the no. That was when we still had homeroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we always were like our homeroom teacher would always talk to each other, or talk to us or stuff. But it was me, you, Ian. It was all 3 of us in the same homeroom.
Yeah.
And Ocean was there as well. Who I think we'll probably just have him at this podcast at some point. So I'm not even gonna bother.
Please.
But that'd be fun. We'll get him on sometime.
I'm gonna have to censor like half of what he says every single time.
Yeah.
He's gonna make my job
We'll
as
just
editor
disconnect
look a
him
lot
if he
harder.
talks about
Just
politics at all.
don't include his mic audio, so it's just we're talking like it's a
Yeah,
one-sided
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
It'd be funnier if he doesn't even have his camera on either. It just shows like the
Yeah.
green little outline.
Yeah. But it was the 4 of us, and for the first week, like you wouldn't talk at all. And then I remember the first was thanks for the treats, Grandma.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I walked into class one day and I had like this video on my phone. It was like this awful thing that I edited and like slapped together in like a Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah.
And it was just like this meme where it's like I don't know. There wasn't really anything memorable other than the last line. It was like, "Thanks for the treats, Grandma," and then I made like a really loud like Sonic noise as the kid was like running
That's
away.
all I remember about it.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna go into the how I met Chris story because that ties in with the thanks for the treats, Grandma.
Yep.
So we met in what, like 6th grade?
I think so.
Yeah, because that's when I was in robotics, and then we had maybe like 2 conversations, and I saw you at a couple meets. That was probably that's what I think was like the extent of our relationship, and then you got sold out.
Yeah, but
Bruh.
dude.
Hey,
What the fuck?
no, we're beeping that. We're beeping that. We're not
Okay,
directly
I can
calling
beep
out
that.
people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But and then I never saw you again.
I saw
until,
you at
like,
Petco.
freshman.
You still deny this. Like you still
don't-
don't remember it.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I remember you talking
swear
about
to
that.
God,
I
he's
remember
been
you talking
saying
about that.
He's been saying this for 4 years.
I
and
saw
I have
you,
no
and
clue
I saw
what he is
you.
talking about.
I saw you and I saw your mother at Petco. We were talking near the fish, and you told me that you like looking at the tank with a lot of fish in it, so you can count how many are floating at the top.
I don't remember this. I honestly don't remember. Are you thinking of somebody else? 'Cause
No,
I
that was
seriously-
definitely you. That was definitely you. You were wearing like
That's
this
so
weird Aloha
weird.
shirt for some reason, and I didn't even bother
I don't-
questioning it. But you were
I
It's
wearing
the
don't-
it.
one near Target, right?
That's the
Was the one
thing.
near Target or was the one in Neva?
It
I
was the
don't-
one near Target.
I don't wear
Okay, yeah.
Aloha shirts. That's the thing.
You
It
wore
must've been
something
Mayday.
like that once.
Was it Mayday?
It would have had to have been a Mayday.
It would have had to been Mayday.
That's
Why
the
would you go to
only
pet coding
context.
Mayday?
That's the only. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I,
that's such a
God.
weird set of circumstances. I feel like both of your memories of that are just so warped.
Who did I? Okay,
Well, actually, this is just one
whoever
of his nightmares. Okay.
whoever I talked to recognized me, and I recognized them, and I called him
Yeah.
Ian, and he did not say anything otherwise. And
Bruh.
we talked about it, and we talked about the fish and how he liked counting how many dead ones were floating at the top.
Are you,
Because it's not like you knew other people from that, right? You only knew
No,
people from
yeah.
robotics and people from robotics camp at the time. Me, Selena, who else? We
The
censor
Vox
names
I
if you
knew,
want.
Peyton I knew.
My brother, yeah, my brother Peyton. So it would have had to been one of them.
And I don't speak that friendly with like Vox or Peyton.
Yeah,
like, especially that time. Like I talk to him normally now, but like
Yeah.
back then we weren't really like close,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't have
Yeah,
said
'cause-
anything like that.
Yeah, it was just like me and you who were hanging out. Like even going into middle school, like I didn't even talk to Peyton that much for the first couple of weeks, but after a while, yeah. Because I mean, I knew him, but like I wasn't like I didn't interact with him like that much during robotics or during the robotics camp.
okay, but after the alleged fish story, and then
Oh, I got one thing to say at
in
the
our,
end
in
after
our,
this.
in our freshman year, and yeah, it was just I kept looking at them the whole ass time, like I know this guy. What the fuck
Okay,
is he
okay,
from?
okay. You know when they split us into groups and we went off to like do our different things, right? For orientation.
Mhm.
Every single time I would pass Ian's group, he would look at me and he would say,
No,
"Chris,
no.
help."
No, no, no. I didn't go to orientation. I haven't gone to an orientation for years.
I distinctly remember that.
The
I
H in
distinctly
Chris
remember that. You
stands
were
for
wearing a
help.
Fallout shirt. I remember that.
When?
Yeah,
No, I don't-
Ian was at an orientation. We were like walking and like in different groups, and he like kept looking at me and saying like, "Chris, help," or "Chris, help me." And he was wearing a Fallout shirt. I remember all of that. I think Ian just has
That is
faulty memory.
impossible. That is impossible.
I feel like I remember Ian being there too.
Because I
Yeah.
don't remember. I don't think I've gone to an orientation
No,
since
because
fifth grade.
ninth grade orientation was
Was that during a school thing?
specific. No, it was like the day before. It was like 2 or 3 days before.
Like on a weekend?
No, on a weekday.
It was was it during a school day?
It was like if school started up on Monday, it was like the Thursday or Friday before,
Hmm.
something like that.
Because I don't remember going to an orientation.
No, dude. I mean, I think everyone was at the ninth grade one. 'Cause that's like the
yeah,
big
I
one.
remember
That's when
most
we're going to high
people
school. That's
being
a,
there.
that's a start.
Yeah, you
Like
overestimate
there wasn't
how I
any
do
new
school
faces I've seen
activities though.
since like orientation and the first day of school.
Yeah, yeah. Do either of you remember the Peyton button?
The Peyton.
I-
From
button.
robotics. The Peyton button.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So what was it? Was it the stack? It was the stack, right? Back in that day?
The one with
Well,
like the
yeah.
reverse scissor
The
lift,
cubes?
I think, right?
Yeah. Okay, so back in that day, robotics. This was in robotics for anyone watching. I was in robotics. Ian was in robotics, and this was shortly after Chris got kicked out. But he was on his own team. He was on HS Robotics. Yeah, kicked out. But Peyton was also in robotics for a very short time before him and I both quit. And Peyton had this button that he would use. He would back his robot into a corner. He would back it into a corner of the map, and he'd press a button, and it literally programmed the entire robot to do the rest of the course for him. And there was one point where he was like, he would press the Peyton button, set the controller down, and just stand there while he watched the thing go. It was the funniest thing, man.
Yeah, I remember after I got like slash kicked from the robotics team, my mom just like, she came up to me and she was like, "You want to start your own?" I was like, "You know what? Sure, why not?" And then we ended up like going on this like 3-year thing where we would just compete in robotics tournaments, and we'd qualified for worlds like every single year that I've competed, and I think we've won an award there every single time. That was pretty basic.
Was it just you and your sister that
Yeah,
was
it
in
was just
HS
us.
Robotics?
We've never
Okay, I thought
had
you had
anyone
someone
else
else.
involved in it.
Huh, that's weird.
Nah, I always remember going to meets and seeing you and your sister with your
Yeah,
the
I would always
fucking
see him there,
TARDIS
yeah.
on the shirt.
But I never talked to him. For like the 2 or 3 things, I would just go there and I'd never talk to him.
We could play like a video of like you remember the one
I know the
robot we had
one.
with like the
I know the
three
one.
that was just shooting at
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. At some point we'll get that up or something. Um,
JB,
we've
pull
got
that shit up.
25 minutes left before I gotta go. So, what other stuff? Like, we were just talking about like us meeting or whatever.
yeah.
I don't know. Me and Lyric meeting would have had to been so many years ago. I don't even remember what it
What
was.
even was that? Was
It
that? I thought
it was probably like a birthday party or something like that.
probably. No, because I remember the thing is, I didn't hang out with you for a while in
Nah.
elementary school.
We didn't hang out till like middle school.
Yeah, but I remember saying like because we were like really close or we were really good friends in middle school. Because we used to play CS:GO all the time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Whenever I said to my parents like, "Oh, I'm gonna hang out with Ian," they were like, "Oh, you hang out with Ian?" Like they were surprised by that or whatever. Just because we didn't hang out at all in like elementary school. Although we knew each other, we always
Yeah.
knew each other.
I mean, it's such a small school. Everyone knows each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, exactly. But like we had hung out in like the first or second year in like kindergarten or first grade or something, and then never hung out in middle school. Something like that. Were you in a class with me?
I don't think we were ever in the
Were
same
you in
homeroom.
karate? You were in karate, right?
Oh yeah.
That's why. That's
we
it.
were
That's
in,
it. That's it.
in
That's it.
karate with
Yep.
Beep.
Yep. Sensei George, bro.
Yeah.
No one's gonna know who that is. That's fine. We leave that in. Yeah.
Was
those
that
are the
one
days.
that was held at the school,
At
the
school.
unnamed school
In the music room. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
I
you
remember,
you only stayed until like second grade, and then you moved to a different dojo. I stayed all the way through fifth grade. That's where I like met Kyler, and that's where I met a couple of other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
Nate.
Yeah.
That's the other one. Nate. Kyler and Nate. That's when I met them. Yeah.
I remember I used to do karate when I was like 10 to like I don't remember when, but I did it for a while, and at one point our dojo was doing a demonstration or something, and I was picked to go to our school, and like they took me to the elementary building, and I just like did like a bunch of moves and stuff or whatever to like a bunch of like elementary schoolers. I swear there has to be some people that was in that one group that watched me do like these weird like katas and stuff.
I do remember that.
know
No,
them.
wait. I remember Elijah was also in karate,
Yeah.
but he went to a different dojo.
Yeah, that's the one I went to.
I was in
yeah,
karate,
because
but-
I went to a different one, and
we
that
two
was the
went
one
to
with
the
the
same one.
yeah.
I remember Elijah brought in his instructors at one point, even though we had our own instructor at the school. And he brought in his own because they had just moved dojos or something. They were just
It was for like a show and tell thing.
It's probably
Yeah,
Sensei
yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, it
He
was.
was like a
Yeah,
bald guy.
I think-
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
sounds
him.
familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember,
they came at one point.
One day Elijah and I were talking about karate and stuff, and then we were like, wait, the timelines kind of match up, like in terms of
Yeah.
when we were.
It's so weird because like you
both,
think about like
like, doing
backstories or whatever, right? Like how we met each other. Like Chris and I robotics, and Ian and Chris robotics, and Ian and I have known each other since elementary school. But
I don't know.
we've all done karate. All of our friend group, or like the three of us and like Elijah and a couple other people, like we've all done karate. It's just that the timeline never met up where we were all in karate in the same place.
I was in karate with Elijah. I remember
might have
talking
met
to him
Chris
about
at
it.
karate,
and then
Yeah, maybe.
like
But just
the
never,
the very next time Elijah had practice, I asked him if he could go up to like any of the group photos that they took and see if he could find me. He literally sent me a picture the next day of me and my mom standing next to him. Or,
Yeah.
like, it was so weird because we never like met or interacted with each other before. Like, I officially came to the school. So.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the first time I met Chris. Might have been at karate.
Yeah.
In
Well,
like fifth grade or something like
The
that.
other thing is that I know Elijah from before I even started school. Because Elijah and I used to go to Gymboree together. Which is like that, like it's like they drop you off and then you do all this like activities and stuff. And like Elijah was the one person, and then I never hung out with him until sixth grade. It's the weirdest thing. But yeah, I feel like we've all known each other for actually quite a long time, surprisingly. Even though like we haven't always like hung out, just until like ninth grade. Ninth grade is
I
when we
mean,
kinda
at
started.
Beep school, the school we currently attend.
Yeah.
I think everyone's kind of like forced to hang out with each other
Yeah.
just because it's such like a small.
Yeah. I've had a class of 4 people this year. My Spanish class.
I'm in a class
Yeah.
with one person. That's
Well,
me.
technically, that's technically.
Technically, yeah.
Because you're in a class with middle schoolers.
Yeah.
So you're not
She
the only
asked
one
me
in
in
the
the very
class, but-
beginning of class. She was like, "Wait, you've already done 3 years of Spanish, so
Yeah,
technically you don't
yeah,
need to
you're
do a
taking it for
language." So
fun.
it's like, yeah.
Did you
She
just
asked
need to
and I was
fill a
like,
class
yeah.
slot or something?
No.
Well,
Otherwise, I would have taken another like elective or something like that, or like another tech.
Well, you wanted to take it.
Yeah,
That's the other
I'm
thing.
see. I'm
You
probably
wanted to
gonna take
that.
it in college anyways, so I
Yeah.
figured it's like, why not?
Yeah, and that's the reason I'm still in Spanish. I want to take Spanish anyway. I might as well try and get near fluency or whatever. You know, I want to take Spanish in college.
I might regret this later because
Yeah.
for Spanish, I'm like kind of near the same level as you are, but like
Yeah,
I'd say
yeah.
a little bit lower because
You're just rusty. That's all I think.
yeah.
Just
I
because
don't know.
you haven't thought about Spanish at all over the summer, whereas I've
No, yeah,
and some of
I
my Spanish
finished
knowledge
the
pertained.
last assignment we had for Spanish, and I was so happy to just
never
eject
did
all of that
Spanish.
information from my brain.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
but
else
you were
was
saying like the school is like really small.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we all knew each other at some point, but it's just like the it just never like coordinated
Coincided,
until until ninth grade when we all had homeroom together.
That
Yeah,
was
that's it.
an interesting time. That whole homeroom.
All of our homerooms were interesting, except I mean last year was fairly bland.
I mean, specifically ninth grade, just because we had
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
interesting characters.
both 9th and 10th grade were really memorable for me because like last year's homeroom we didn't really do anything. 10th grade's homeroom was when we had can I say the acronym? That's not a school specific thing.
nah.
Social. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, that's just a
Yeah,
straight up
okay,
just-
so we had SEL, social emotional learning. That's not a specific to our
No,
school.
that's not. No,
But-
that's absolutely not.
It's literally a kindergarten curriculum for
Or at least the one that they were doing was a kindergarten
yeah.
curriculum.
But like, like I have a lot of memories from 10th grade from that just cuz like, dude, some of the stuff was so dumb.
They would literally
We read a
they would
story
pull
about
up like
bears.
a video of elementary schoolers doing
Yeah.
yoga, and we'd have to.
Yeah,
follow
yeah.
along.
We read a story about bears. It was like a kid story.
You don't like bears, man?
Oh, dude, I love bears. Trust me, dude. Bears are like right up there with like monkeys, dude. Both of those are the homies. But like it's like, and then the bear goes into hibernation and sleeps for 3 years, or not for 3 years, for like half the year. And I was like, do I need to know this? Is this
No,
gonna be the
wasn't
test?
Wasn't it like a funny story too?
Yeah,
Remember somebody
no,
kept
I think,
laughing.
No,
was
okay.
a
I
kid's
think
story
I was
about.
laughing because of how dumb it was.
Because of
but-
how
No,
dumb it
no,
was.
no.
It's because of how dumb
I-
it was.
I kind of there was. It might have not been the bear story, but I remember there was some funny story, and somebody kept laughing at it, like genuinely.
Huh.
I forgot.
You remember
what it was.
you remember that like we were given a bunch of pictures and we had to describe what exactly was happening in there. And then there was one time where there were like these people in suits that were like walking outside of an airplane or whatever. Like I don't know.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. It was like
I
these
think I
people
roughly
in
remember
like
that.
suits with like briefcases that were walking outside of like an airport.
Yeah.
And it was like we had to describe the image. And I was like,
Yeah.
what are we even doing?
Yeah.
Why?
But anyway, where was I even? What was I? Oh no, because that was just that homeroom. That year was really memorable because of like how dumb that program was. But our 9th grade year, the year before that,
Didn't we watch 12
was
Angry
also
Men
really memorable.
for like 8
Yes, we
different
did.
We didn't.
Yeah, on
we didn't
8
watch the
different
original.
occasions.
We didn't watch the original 12 area. We watched the 1990s TV remake of it.
No, we watched the original.
No, that
No,
was
wait,
not,
no, we didn't.
Yeah,
I went back and
we
rewatched
watched
the
the
original.
one
'cause I
with
was bored
James
one day.
Gandolfini.
Yeah. In the original, like all the actors are white and it's in
Yeah,
it's in black and white.
it's from like
Yeah,
the 50s or something.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. I remember watching that one. It's a pretty good movie, but yeah. And then 9th grade, we had a kind of special year. It was a little bit wild, for a number of reasons.
With one main one,
With one main one.
I got
And then-
clay thrown on me that year
Yep.
by the main reason.
Yeah, the main reason. We probably shouldn't slander that person. They're gonna get mad, bro.
Inside jokes in general won't do too well on a podcast
Yeah,
because
yeah.
then people are just gonna feel left
That
out.
is true. Yeah. But yeah, those 2 years were kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I think for now we will be able to like do some kind of inside jokes that relate a lot to either a school or the grade because
Yeah.
for like the first
mean,
few
That's our
episodes it's
primary
gonna be our main
audience.
audience, but then
Yeah.
as we like push out more episodes and whatnot, we can like focus more on like easily digestible things
Yeah.
towards a broader audience.
We get an actual structure going.
Yeah. I think sometime in the future we'll do a Q&A. So if you guys follow us on Instagram, that's probably where it'll happen. It's at the Base Department Podcast. I believe I have a paper that's where it's written out. Although I might have thrown it away.
I can put text on the screen. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
you
you
have
can put
to,
text. You can put text.
It's gonna be a lot janker. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it almost fell. I can see it shake.
Janker.
Yeah, but if you guys
More
follow us
jank.
on that and then submit any questions that you guys have for us, and then probably by the third or fourth episode, we'll try and get to that if we have enough.
Yeah.
If we get a ton, like we can just do it by next episode. But yeah,
Ask us questions. No question too
Yes.
dumb.
yeah. There's no question that's too base to not be answered,
Except if it's like
except if it's
largely
do
polarizing
crime.
political things. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. We'll stay off.
What is
of
your
politics
opinion
for
on
me.
X incident or
Within
whatever.
like reason.
Within
Yeah.
reason. I'll talk about politics if it's something that's at the center of our lives, right? Like that's something everyone's going
Yeah.
through. If it's like something interesting, like coronavirus policy, I'll gladly talk about that. But
I would gladly talk about the coronavirus 5G doctor disrespect
Yeah,
Sean
yeah.
Gate theory.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
but yeah, we'll try and stay away from. I think that's too bland, for the time being at least. Well, all right, I think that's good. I got a dip in 15 minutes for my meeting, but
Yeah.
if we just want to wrap up, do we have any closing remarks or what?
Seeing as you've made it this far, I'm deeply sorry. One, for the awful quality of this podcast, and
Yeah,
two,
true.
for how
And the 2 hours of your life you're never
yeah,
getting
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
This is, well, as of recording, this is an hour and 41 minutes. You're never gonna get back, but I'm
Yep.
sure I'll cut off like a bunch of it.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry for the
We're
45
smart.
seconds you're never getting back.
Yeah. Follow us on social media. Follow or subscribe to our YouTube. Hit the like button. Where's the like button? Here?
Dude,
Should be there.
you're on the top
forget-
right of my
don't
screen.
forget-
It's
don't
you're
forget
not
to rate
going
the
to
like
do
button
anything.
stars.
way down there somewhere. Like way down there. Go hit that like button.
Smash
Subscribe.
that like button.
Follow us on Instagram.
Okay, we're
gonna
not
open-
doing this. Like if you like it. Don't like it if you don't like it, or like hit the dislike it
Rate
if you
5
like
stars on
absolutely hated
YouTube,
it.
please.
Follow us on Instagram. If you're watching this right now, you can just subscribe below. If you're on our Instagram page, our link's in bio. Our YouTube link is in the bio. So
In the
yeah,
BIOS.
in the bio of the Instagram page. All right, yeah, I think that routes it up.
Yeah.
Cheers. I'll see you guys in the next one. Probably 2 weeks from now, 1 or 2 weeks. I'll see you.
Questions.
Yeah, give us questions.
Yeah, give us questions.
Bye.
Bye.